Hey guys, welcome back. I am filming here today in Australia, in New South Wales, in a rural town. It's a bit overcast, so it's feeling a bit muggy, but I wanted to show you my finished objects, so I have to wear my long sleeve one. But I am Katrina Chadwick, and if I'm here on my channel, I just post videos on anything crafty, anything I get up to. So welcome if you're new, thanks for coming back. If you've been watching my last couple, we're up to 4, and it's like a vlog podcast. I haven't worked out what people prefer to call these, whether they're podcasts or whether they're vlogs. I think it's a bit of both, because the podcast was traditionally an audio thing, but we've started calling them on YouTube podcasts. So anyway, welcome and thank you for watching. I'm at number 4 and there's a few new things. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm looking at my table, and 5. I have 5 finished projects, 5 for this month, and I've done lots of work on whips as well, so it's really good. I'm really excited, and yeah, lots to talk about, lots of new things I've seen and I want to try, but getting the time. So I've got 2 toddlers. I'm not sure if I've said that before, but I've got 2 toddlers, and one is 4 and one is 2, and one is behind me, so I do apologize if you hear a bit of background noise come up here and there. It'll be him. He's watching videos whilst I'm filming. But I've also got new hair. What do we like? So I dyed my hair black. I have had my natural hair colour in my first couple of videos, and I've had my natural hair colour undyed for about 3 years, pretty much as long as my first son's been born. And then I just grew it out, grew it really long, but in summer it's nice to have it short, so nice little difference, a bit of a concave, a little bit shorter at the back, a little bit longer at the front, but it's subtle. I like it. And fringe, which I have had for a little bit, but I don't think you saw in my last video. I think I had it pinned back, but loving it. But anyway, so first thing that I have finished for this month, yes, is my bloodline sweater. Well, I'm wearing it now, so I'm not going to be able to show you much, but I'll sort of awkwardly move a bit around. So I have this beautiful African violet, which is a 4-ply wool from Addeydae Woolen Mills, and I'm just gonna like cover my face so you can see it, but that's a beautiful perfect purple color. And then all the speckle in the body, so you can probably see my chest at the minute, but all this lovely speckle in my arms and in the body of the sweater is Save the Bees by Natural Fibre Arts here in Australia. Wonderful indie dyer. And the top is, so the ribbing and the little bit of the yoke that you could either do in the same colour as this or have a third colour, which is what I did. I introduced a third colour, that is cream, also by Addeydae Woolen Mills. It is all wool, it's all 100% wool. Actually no, oh sorry, something fell down. The speckle is 75-25, but otherwise this is all 100% wool. So it's a little bit warm today, but that's alright. I'll get there. And yes, it's the bloodline sweater by Addeydae Designs, who is Deanne, and she lives here in Australia. She is a designer that has amazing stuff, amazing. I look at all her projects that she has on her Ravelry page, and all the patterns you can buy and purchase, because it is a paid pattern. So all the patterns you can purchase that she's designed, and they are adorable. I have another sweater I want to do, so she's just released another sweater called Addeydae, and that looks absolutely amazing. And I also want to do a shawl. I think it's called 3 Sisters, but it's a shawl. Stunning. But anyway, amazing pattern to follow. This is the first sweater construction I've ever done, so I didn't hack anything, and it was, I'd say, beginner to intermediate. Like if you've made a few things as a beginner and you're now sort of in between a beginner intermediate, it's friendly. You will maybe have to like look up stitches on YouTube or anything just to familiarize yourself with things, but otherwise it's all fairly simple. It's well explained. There's diagrams and pictures where you need them, if that makes sense. I think there was, but anyway, beautiful pattern, just got updated as well, I believe. And I didn't hack anything, everything is made the same. I will insert some photos somewhere around this point so that you can see the whole piece, because I did go outside and get some lovely photos one day, the day it was finished. But it has thumb holes as well in the sleeves there, which you do and don't have to do. It's up to yourself whether you want it. The only thing in hindsight that I may want to change, because I do plan on making another one, but there is about 4,000 different jumpers I want to make, even though it's like almost 30 degrees outside Celsius. I still want to make jumpers, but anyway. So the only thing would be here. Now I do have a broad chest. I'm a ladies 12 to 14 Australian clothing sizes, so you know, around the average lady. Well, retail wise, I work in retail, that's the average lady size now in Australia. So it's a little bit, it's like it's got a few extra increases that it didn't need. So I'm pretty sure the pattern from memory now, because it was a long time ago that I did the top, you get to your short rows and then you connect and you do it in the round and start your yoke, and then you get to a point where you've got to increase to get over your shoulders, and you make the yoke over here and it comes across, and then you split for your sleeves. I'm pretty sure you increase in that last section to a certain centimetre. I was working to centimetre lengths rather than, she would say, increase for the next 8 rows or 13 centimetres from top of yoke to this. So I'd be working off the centimetres because I wanted to get the length right, because I'm a very, very tight crocheter. And so I knew that I didn't want to overly block it, and so I knew that my stitches would all be quite compact, so I would have to work an extra couple of rounds to get the length right. And I did have to do that. I had to do an extra few increases. But that would be the only thing, because you can't see it as I'm moving, but when I do stand still and get into a certain spot, it gets a little bit puckery. Perfect otherwise. Nothing else I would change. So I'm going to move on from my jumper, because whilst I love my sweater jumper, wherever you are in the world, yeah, it was good. But I did finally I told you the story of me being about up to here on this sleeve. That's where no, it must have been up here, that I had finished. I ran out of yarn. I bought the Bendigo Woolen Mills, comes in 200 gram skeins, and I got one of each colour. Enough yarn, perfect, no dramas. And I thought with the math that I did in my head that with the speckle I would only need 2 of the skeins, and I ran out here. So I literally did, I think I did 15 rows, that was it. And when I'll show you, I'm just going to lean across. I have, so this is it, skeined up, or balled up I should say. So this is how much I have left over. So I had to ring the lovely lady Cheryl, who runs Natural Fibre Arts with Vanessa, and see if they could get me another one. And I didn't want to be a pain in the bum, and I didn't want to say, can you do it for me now, because that's rude. But I wanted to ask if they had any left over from a batch or a return, or you know, something had happened along the way and they had one sitting in their office after they went on holidays. And they didn't. They ended up having a bamboo 75-25. So Cheryl offered to dye me another one, and she asked if the dye lot would work. Now you can't even tell that I've introduced a third skein. It is beautifully speckled in that you don't notice it that much, which is great. But when I weighed this, I've still got 98 grams left of 100 gram ball. So obviously Cheryl was beautiful and so generous and gave me a little bit more than 100 grams, and I've used it. So I'm going to guesstimate that I used about 10 extra grams with the 2 grams. So I'm going to say 12. 12 grams I've used to finish this off, and then I've got a whole skein of yarn. So I'm not sure what I'll do with this, whether I'll make a pair of socks, because I have seen someone knit socks with these. Looked fantastic. But for the minute, I've been looking at these skeins for 3 months. I'm pretty sure I started in April or May. I'm pretty sure I started April, May to get all this started. And I had to wait about 6 weeks in the end once I had finished to get this done. So I'm just a little bit tired of looking at the same colours. So I will definitely use all my leftover yarn and wool, but I will be putting it on the back burner and doing it in later projects. So I've still got all that. So finish project 2, because I'm going to need to start moving my little bottom along here. Little, who am I kidding? Anyway, so I finished a pair of socks. I'm up to my second finished project. So it is the Magdalen socks by Vicki Brown. I've got 2 here. They look like there's 1. There's 2. So these are Vicki Brown Designs Magdalen socks. I've made them in Natural Fibre Arts, the same one as my speckle shirt. Bought them at the same time. Yellow is past the mustard. It is a discontinued colour, and the blue was a mini of one of her blues that she had at the time. Do not know if it's still current, so I don't know if you can still get it. And it is lovely. Overall, a positive for crocheted socks, which is a really good thing because I've only just started making crocheted socks. Well, this is my first pair. I have all the intention of going and making more, so that is a good thing that she's encouraged me. I did have issues with the heel flap, and not the gusset, but just the turn and heel flap, to get the heel flap and gusset, which is part of the construction. But overall, it worked out better on the second sock, and that's just because it's new. So it turned out a lot better on the second sock. I've worn them for a couple hours, and that is a good thing. Go play with your toys, darling. I have a little man that's just come out now, so he's right here next to me. And so these are good. I think they're comfy. The parts that aren't perfect, like the seam in the toe, that would be something that's more to do with me not being an experienced crochet in socks rather than the pattern. So free pattern, Magdalen socks, go get it if you want to make a pair of socks for yourself. It does call for 3 skeins of yarn. I only used 2 because that's what I had. It is fingering weight as well, just so you know. But that's second finished project. My third one is another free pattern that I looked up. I actually found it on Instagram. I had seen the picture of it before. It's amigurumi. It is a bunny. So my amigurumi bunny, it's called the Rattle Bunny 2-legged. I do not know the designer's name. I apologize. If you search that in either Instagram or Ravelry, it will come up. It takes you to the ladies blog where you can get the free pattern. But if you do want a paid pattern without obviously all the ads and things on it on the page, it's there as well. But it's very cute. So you construct the 2 legs, join, create the body, create the ears and sew them on. And in her pattern, she does have embroidery thread for eyes and then a big circle piece of felt. But I wasn't interested in having a big piece of felt. The person who I have in mind, one of my girlfriends, she is pregnant at the minute, and I'm so excited for her. She's having a third. So she's already got toddlers, and she's having another one. So I didn't want to add lots of embroidery thread onto things that I'm only learning. I'm not as experienced with it, so more for safety. But I've used my these are my big eyes. Oh, sorry, wrong side. And I think it looks beautiful. So I've used Spotlight Valuable in the recyclable, also recycled cotton blend. Now these have been discontinued. There is a Annette Erickson or something like that is the new relabeled brand where this was the original one that they thought Spotlight would put out, not knowing how good it would go. It went really well. 200 gram balls of this yarn. I've got one and I can get another one made out of it, which is excellent. Out of the 2 balls that I got them on special when I bought them for $2.40 a ball. So it's nothing really. So I could make 2 and give them as gifts to people, or I could give one as a gift and sell one even. Whatever I really want to do, it doesn't really matter. But it's cheap as anything to make them up, which is great. But Spotlight kind of cottoned onto this in Australia. So what they've done is they've rebranded, same yarn, different labels, and they've got 2 different thicknesses in it. And I think this thickness in it is about $6 a ball. So disappointing, to say the least. But it's 85% cotton with 15% polyester. I thought it would be a good one to chuck in the wash to just get it clean, because it's white and grey, it's going to get dirty. But at the same time, it's soft. Like, cotton is soft. And bubs can play with it all year round if it's cotton. If it's wool, they might get a little bit warm. If it's their snuggly, stuffy toy that they go to bed with, then it might get hot. So, my thoughts on that one. So, 3rd finished object. Yes, yes, yes. I'm so happy. So, then I went and got a bit selfish. As if I wasn't already making things for myself. Like, my jumper and the socks are for me. But I'm kind of like, I would like to get a beanie. It has gone into spring, where I currently in November, the first couple of days of November, it's the 5th? Don't quote me on that, but I think it's the 5th of November. So we are at the end of spring, about to go into summer. Yeah. So I'm going to have to lean to grab this one. So excuse me whilst I lean over here to grab this. But I had some, got my bust. So this is a beanie I made for myself. And I'm not sure whether to put a pom-pom on the top or not, but currently it doesn't. It is finished, ends are weaved in, but it's just a long beanie that I've seen everywhere. Oh, sorry. Oh, there we go. So it is a beautiful colour. This beautiful, rich, almost like a rust colour. I'm just going to re-bend this. But it is this lovely colour in Lion Brand. So it's Lion Brand jeans. It's called Top Stitch. And I got this from Spotlight. It was on special, but it was still a bit pricey. It was $7 a ball, which I've seen videos, like vlogs and podcasts, from people on YouTube in America, and they've literally spent like $2, $3 on this. In Australia, you're hard pressed to get it under $10. So I wanted to try it because I'd seen it and I was getting all enthused about it. So soft. This is the softest yarn. And I bought 2 balls. I used both the balls at the same time rather than going from the inside and the outside. I just wasn't doing that. This pattern was by Make and Do Crew, who I had previously my Habitat cardigan that I made. That's by the same people and designers. So I thought this is going to be a great pattern, easy to follow. It's so simple. It's like 3 steps and then you just keep doing it. So that got finished last night. It fits sort of just, it's a bit snuggish, but it also fits my son. So worst comes to worst, he can wear it. I did make a beanie on my last podcast you saw for my other son. So potentially I could do 2 beanies for them too as Christmas presents, and that's a Christmas present done. But I'll decide. I'll show my hubby this on and see whether it's going to be a bit snug or not. But it's just so soft. Yeah, I don't know how much I used though for this. It is called the, I think, 1.5 hour beanie. That's the name of the pattern on their Ravelry, and then it takes you to the blog where they've got the pattern written. But lovely pattern, loving it. So I got that done last night of all things. I finished that last night and I was really chuffed with it. But I've still got quite a few well, quite a bit left in both the balls. I'm just going to lean across again. I've got my stuff on a little table in front of me. So I've got that much left. And coincidentally, I was just perusing through the interwebs for more patterns, because as if we don't have enough to make already. Beautiful stuff coming out left, right and center at the minute. And there's a dress called Penelope. I think it's just called Penelope dress. And it is stunning. Stunning. It's like a A-line skater dress. It's not long, it comes down to the knee, but obviously you can make it as long or as short as you like. It's got like a boat neck. It's not round and it's not V, but it's kind of like a boat neck around, and it has a little vintage panel that you can or don't have to do with like mini sleeves. Stunning. And I know this is because this yarn is acrylic, 100% acrylic. So for me, for summer or spring autumn even, for a dress, acrylic is fine, but cotton's probably going to be best. But for me to find, I need 6 balls of cotton. And if I go a beautiful cotton that's like indie dyed, that's a lot of money, like $25 a ball each, to not really be confident in whether I like the pattern or not. So I was thinking I'll try it in like a cheaper $2 cotton that I can get at Spotlight on sale or Lincraft on sale, which are our big stores here in Australia. And spend like $12, construct this dress, see if it fits first, especially for size, get all the sizing and everything down pat. And then if I want to do another one, because I found this one, a lady had bought beautiful blue, tonal blue skeins of yarn from Fibre Lily. And she made this dress and it was beautiful. But the main designer uses this. So I could almost use these for it and then just I need 6 balls, I think I worked out. I'd be a medium in this pattern, I worked out. So it says 5, but I think it's 6 just to be safe. I could use these 2 partial balls and count that as 1.5. So maybe I just buy another 4 and see how it goes, because I can find these regularly. But anyway, blabbering on, thoughts of what I have found that I want to make. So that is those. And then this is my last finished project. So this one's a small one. This one's a relatively quick and easy make. I've got it in a little bag all ready to go. So I've got this is a brand new ball of the same one I'm using, but it's a 4-ply cotton and it's 100% cotton, 50 gram ball, get 165 meters, and it's Lincraft. So I have Lincraft as my more local than my Spotlight, so I get more stuff from them. And I was originally making crop tops last year. Yeah, would have been this time last year I was making crop tops. And I had got this colour for a friend and said either a blue or a green for herself for a top. And she picked the blue, so I have green left over. So this time I'm using up the cotton I've got on my shelves. So I've got, as you can see, my bookshelves, but I've got my yarn in there as well. And I have made little round reusable cotton face scrubbies. So these, I've made a set of 4 to start off with already. They're all, it doesn't really matter, but these are the right way. Can you see the colouring on that? Wait a minute, excuse me, I'll just... So it's a beautiful green, almost like an olive green, but not dark. It's like a light olive green. And I saw my cousins, I have 3 cousins that are girls, all girls, and they are all teenagers. One is an adult, just an adult. And the other 2 are still teenage girls. And they do love makeup. They're very girly and feminine. So I'm thinking, as a Christmas present, if I make 2 sets of 4, as a minimum, but I'm not going to overcommit myself. Please excuse my dog, he's just started barking, so if you can hear that, I apologise. But I'm going to make these, and then I'm going to give them a body wash from a lovely body store. It's called The Body Shop here in Australia anyway. I thought I would get them a lovely body wash or a face wash, give them these, and then maybe, depending on time and what I'm doing and how I feel, get... So I will continue on with the face scrubbies. I plan on making... I've got like a purpley blue colour for almost the same as this, but maybe more blue than this, in a cotton I'm going to use for one of the other girls. I have the 3 girls, 3 cousins, and then for the last one I've got like a peachy pink. So I thought that would be good, and I'll finish off those. But then I've realised that I'm going to lean across. I have some leftover cotton from a cotton cake. You can see the colours there. Now there's not much left in this, but for myself, for some face scrubbies, it doesn't matter if it's got pink and purple and blue and all that, it'll look really awesome and I will really appreciate it. So I'm thinking I'm going to make myself some in the meantime and use up this whole roll. I'm just going to make it until they're gone, and just get this chunk gone, because I don't have any more of this cotton. I don't have any more plans. I made a large triangle scarf maybe 6 months ago, and it was the first time using this cotton cake by Karen, and it was great, lovely, but I need to use up more stuff in my stash, so I'm really excited for the prospects with that one. Happy days. Now I did say that I wanted to make this sweater and jumper, sorry, I call it a jumper but sweater for everyone else probably, and it is the... Can you see that? Yeah, black and white photo, apologise. But it is a paid pattern by Iron Lamb. So iron, like it's iron, but it's, you know, my accent in case you're not getting it. Iron Lamb. It's called the Granny Rocks Jumper. Yes, paid pattern on Ravelry. You can follow Iron Lamb on Instagram. Another fantastic designer that I've only just realised that is out there and is going. So I'm just picking up my basket because I am following the pattern. 5 colours, and you do granny clusters, or you know, the normal granny stitch, straight up the body. So you do a back panel, front panel, and connect it. I'm not going to go any further than that because obviously it's a paid pattern, but just gives you a basic idea of construction, and it will explain what I'm showing you. So I have done a panel. This is mine. So I've got, I'm going to hold it that way for a minute. Got a grey that I'm starting with, and that's the base, that's the ribbing. And I've got like a gold, an orange, a green, and then a purple, and then I just repeat that. So I have done 2 full repeats and almost on the finish of a 3rd repeat. I'm bit of the way through a row there, so I've got half a row, but this is the back panel. So I am still making this. I have 5 balls all attached. They're all attached, but they're being floated up the side, so then I won't have lots and lots of ends to weave in, which I'm really excited about. It's the first time I have floated up ends. So that's where they were first originally tied in, but otherwise you can see that they've floated up. It's not neat. My ends are not neat. So far I am struggling with the pattern, in all honesty. I consider myself a intermediate to advanced crocheter, but the wording on row 2 or 3 was just shocking. Wait a minute, I'll come out in a second, just go. Mummy's making a video. Hello. Yeah. So the wording on this was getting me off. So I'm going to be a little bit in and out for a little bit, and then it will go straight. And then we'll have my floats, which won't be neat, but it'll all be sewn in, it'll all look really, really good. Can you please turn off the fan? Mum's videoing. And so yes, that is my Granny Rock sweater in the process of being made, which is extremely exciting. It's a second sweater, or jumper, sorry. I go between saying what they are because for the sake of everyone knowing what I'm talking about. Sounds bad. But then I also showed you my in the garden dress. I think it's called In the Garden, Secret Garden dress. Secret garden dress, that's the one. And I've got a panel made. So, same thing, this one has a back and a front construction, and then you do the yoke at the top last to connect it all. This pattern was in a magazine, and I showed you this last time. I've showed you that a lot, but I'm just sort of showing you how it's coming together. This is the medium size. You use your crochet hooks to make different sizes and then put it all together. So yes, I will show more progress on this one next time hopefully, but before it was just little round center pieces that I was showing you. So now I have a piece of fabric, and I'm really excited about that as well. I get extremely impatient with these projects, so it'll be another thing. And you can hear my toddler, so you know that I don't have a lot of time to get things going. And I think I'm just going to show you one quick last thing, and then I'm going to leave it there because I do have more yarn to show, but with the boys it's not going to happen. I signed up for a Secret Santa but like a Secret Santa exchange, where you buy up to $40 worth of products, craft/crochet related, and you then send it to your partner. So I'm going to show you, I got some yarn from Squiggle Yarn Co. I have only just discovered them, and it's this beautiful purple, and it's got a little bit of blue, and it's got up here some orange and pink, and it is the softest piece of yarn I've ever felt. It's 50% superfine merino, 25% baby alpaca, and 25% silk. Silk makes it so soft. Now, I originally bought this for me, but when I saw it, I wanted to be extremely generous and gift it to someone, so she's getting that. And I've also so far bought her a little kitty cat tape measure. I've got it added. My child is talking into a fan. So far so good. And I will say goodbye right now, and I will see you all in my next video. Might end up being 2 weeks away if I get a few things done. But thanks guys for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.